Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kortewada. In this video, we will learn about React events. So how to use this React events and how to perform some set of operations whenever user clicks or based on the user interactions. So let me show you some of the events which are very important in React, and you can perform any of the events later. So let me go into the Visual Studio Code. We have a lot of events, so I don't want to cover everything piece to piece. So I just go with the important events. So first important thing is button. So already we know that how to create a button in HTML, and this is my button. So if you want to learn about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then there is a playlist where you can learn all the detailed concepts of HTML, CSS, JavaScript in my web development playlist. I'll provide the link in the description. Please watch that for better understanding. Let me go and create the button, and the button name is click event. Now let me save this. Now I want to click on this and I want to perform some action. So here the performing of actions can be done in many ways. First thing, let's create a inner function, and the function is arrow function. So let me create an arrow function, const submit handler, and I'm creating it as an arrow function. Let me write a console.log of button click. So this is my handler, and if you want to perform any of the call on this, you can do two things. First thing is I have to register an event, and that event is nothing but on click. So in general, whenever you are writing in a JavaScript, what you will do is you will just use on click in a small letters, but here we have to use a camel case. So now on is the listener and click is an event where you are separating them with a capital letter, as the event name starts with a capital letter, and that's how you will be using this event names. On should be small and the event name should be start with a capital letter, and it should be a camel case. And now let me register a handler. So I'm using submit handler. Now the case is you should never call this submit handler directly. For example, I have registered and called that on the on click, but actually what happens, let's see. Let me go here and just go into the inspect and just go into the console and zoom it. Let me refresh this. If you see, the button click is already called without clicking that button. So whenever you are registering an event, and if you are pointing to that function and calling that function, then that function will never wait until your event is triggered. It automatically calls whenever you load the application. So that's why you should never ever call the function on an event. Instead, give the reference for that. So whenever you give the reference for that, then it will wait until you click that particular button. Let me go here and refresh. Now the event is not called. When I click this, the event is called. So whenever you want to call a function on an event, you have to give the reference. But you may be getting one question. So if I have a variable to pass or the value to pass, for example, I have a variable and I want to show that a variable but on basis of click event, then in that case, how to handle this? So if you want to handle such scenarios, then you can use arrow function on the events. So I'm using an arrow function now, and I'm using a submit handler. I'm passing 10 value. So if you see now, I'm calling it, but the calling is happening on the arrow function. Hence, it creates an internal function and it waits for the on click event. So whenever you want to pass some value, then you have to use a calling function with an arrow function inside your event. Let me go here and refresh this. Nothing called. Let me click here and the button click called, and we are passing the 10 value. It is passed. And sometimes we may need to pass our events of that specific event. For example, I want to pass the button clicks event, that is an internal JavaScript event. Then I can call that event over here, pass that event over here, and I'm passing the event over here onto the A, and A will display that event. Let me go here and let me refresh. Click this. You can see the synthetic base event, and this base event is a button event. So you can see the type is click event and the React name is on click event. So that's how you can capture your events as well. So let me go into the input field and do the same thing for capturing the value of that input. So let me go with the input and let me close this. here, and let me do one thing. I'll use on change handler, and it is as arrow function. So what this has to do is it has to print the value whatever we are entering in the input field. So for entering purpose, I can go with on change, and I'm calling this on change event, where I want to call the change handler. So let me copy this change handler and put it over here, and I want to capture only the value. So I'm receiving an event over here, and let me pass the event over here, and let me pass the event over here. Now this event will be the on change event, where you can get the value like event dot target dot value. This is the same way how we use in our JavaScript to get an element's value from an input field. So you can use event dot target dot value. Let me go here and refresh. Let me type something. H, you got H, A I, hi, S A I, you got SAI. So we are using an onchange event to get that values. And even if you want to pass an inbuilt event, so no need to do this way as well. You can even pass the reference. When you pass the reference, it has an inbuilt event. That is not a problem. So let me go here and type something. Hi, you got the same output. But whenever you want to pass some other value other than the event, then you have to use arrow function. So always prefer to use arrow function. That would be better in all the cases. So that is how you will be using this on change. In the same way, you can use any of the event like on mouse up, mouse down, mouse click, or anything. So that's how you can use the events in our React application. So if you know the events and how to handle them in JavaScript, the same thing will applicable in our React as well. Let me show you one more important thing. That is nothing but key up. On key up, I want to call some value. So let me go with another function like on or key up handler, and I'm using an arrow function, and I want to show the event. So let me post this inside this console.log of event, and with this put it over here. Just I want to pass the event, hence I'm using the reference. So let me go here and refresh this. Let me hit H, and if you see there is an event, and the key whatever I typed is H, and the key code is 72. So the type is key up, because we are performing the key up. And if you see the native element, this is a keyboard event. If you see the event type, it's a keyboard event. And let me show you the same thing over here on change. I'm just printing the event. Let me save this and refresh. Let me type H. So you can see there is a synthetic event, but the synthetic event is change. Here the synthetic event is key up. So first change is happening and then the key up is calling. So that's how you can use multiple events on a particular element as well. So that's it about the events in React. You can try some other events, and if you have any question in a particular event, please put it in the comments. I'll try to explain. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.